How's it? Neil Everett here in his season 2. Yeah, we're back for Mildcats versus Wildcats, or Wildcats versus Mildcats. We're going to dip, chip, and rip here and see who can handle the heat. We got Delly and Liam. You were one of the most sought-after players in the portal. You chose Arizona. Why?
I had a great connection with the coaching staff pretty quickly. They've said it's the fastest recruiting process they've ever had. So I just felt that straight away. I had a bunch of people that knew told me already, and it was just an easy choice for me.
When you say great, what made great for you?
The way kind of what they were offering, what I was offering, in terms of what I can bring to the team, what they need in the team, how my role's looking, and what the team can bring, in terms of championships and stuff like that. Plus Tommy's, expertise in developing guys, especially guys like me. So when he kind of sold me on that, I was pretty much ready to go.
What can you bring to the team?
Scoring, fight, grit. That Aussie blood, it runs pretty deep. So
now you chose to come here to play your fifth and final season when you could have stayed where you were, and you were a solid player at NAU. You were a solid player at Grand Canyon. What was the lure?
With the new birth of my son, me and my fiance thought it'd be best to move down for our family, to be closer to family, and just finish my last year competing for championships with these guys, practicing with them every day.
What's it like playing for your dad?
It's special. It's something like growing up, I used to play for my dad a lot. I used to coach my teams. So me and him battle. We always challenge each other with different ideas, and it's just special, and I'm just blessed to be able to play for him.
How are you guys alike? How are you different?
I feel like we have some similarities when it comes to like how we are as people, and like our energy, and kind of like how we interact with other people. And how we're different, I would say,
screaming.
Yeah, he's a big yeller, and I'm more mild and more monotone, so it's a lot different in that aspect.
All right, by the end of this thing, you may be screaming. Let's dip a chip right here. All right, Delly, this is the way we do it. We go here, we start here. We're with the salsa de la casa. What are you tasting? Anything special?
Tomato, garlic,
Tomato.
pretty solid.
All right. Greatest game you've ever had? Any level?
Probably at Campbell last year. We played UNCW on CBS. That was a pretty big game. We won in double overtime at home, and they're our rivals. So it was a pretty big win for us.
And how many did you light it up?
I think I had like 38 or 39, about 10 or 11 rebounds.
All right.
Assists, steals,
At 38, 39. I know you know what the number was, because you guys always know exactly what the number
I actually don't remember exactly. I'm like 90% it was 38, but I'm not exactly sure.
All right, I know you had 46 in a GSL game. Do not sleep on the GSL at Gonzaga. What's your best game you ever had?
I would probably say my junior year of high school. It was in the state tournament. It was semifinals. We played against a good federal weight team. They had Jaden McDaniels, Tari Eason, and I had 17 in the first quarter, and we beat them. So I thought that was probably my best game.
What's that like when you're in a zone? Like, we remember from White Man Can't Jump. I'm in a zone, man. I'm in a zone. But when you're getting 17 in a quarter, when you're going for 38, 39, whatever, you had to have been in a zone. What's that be like for guys who have never been in a zone?
It's the greatest feeling you can ever experience, because it doesn't happen super often. But when it does, it's like you can feel like you can let it go from anywhere. It just goes in. You have like no conscience. Like, you're not thinking that. You never down yourself. You never down anything else. You just let it go and it goes in.
Yeah, the hoop feels this big, and you're not really thinking. You're just kind of in a kind of zen state where you're just flowing. Just in a flow state.
I've heard it's like throwing a beach ball into the ocean. Like, hey, man, boom, you're standing on the beach.
Everything goes.
Everything goes.
Yeah.
Let's go to chip number 2, Mexicana, right here.
It's pretty good.
What's good about it?
That's my favorite so well.
Well, we only got 2 choices.
Not a big fan of the both, so I gotta lie.
What are you tasting, Liam?
It just tastes like some good salsa to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's it like having a 6-month-old son?
I mean, there's sleepless nights. It's a grind for sure, but it's just really rewarding. You look at them sometimes, you're like, wow, this is just a little me, right? It's like a miniature version of yourself, and I mean, yeah, it's just special. I don't even know, you can't describe it.
Indescribable. You got brothers and sisters?
No, only child.
Only child.
Yep.
What's that like?
It's great now. It's a struggle growing up. You're very bored all the time. You got no one to really play with. You know, I have brothers and sisters that like bug and stuff, but I mean, you also get spoiled. So there's, you know, pros and cons.
Right.
I loved it.
Now, are your parents in Melbourne?
Yes.
But what's Melbourne like?
Um,
Compare Melbourne to Tucson.
Oh, 9 day. Melbourne is closer to New York, I would describe it like, with the weather of Oregon. It's super overcast all the time, you know, drizzly, then sunny 1 minute, and then windy the next minute, and then rainy the next minute. It just changes all the time, but it's like one of the most beautiful places in the world, and it's it's always voted the most livable city in the world.
Now, if the weather can be so depressing, how is it one of the most livable cities in the world?
I mean, it's super safe. The way that the, you know, government's run and the way like the life is lived down there, it's just chill lifestyle. Like everyone lives on the beach, you know, that lifestyle of living in a house or apartment, 10 minutes on the beach, 20 minutes from the city. Everything's so accessible. It's just a great life.
What would it be like for you to make the Australian Olympic team some year?
It would be a dream come true. That's something that I really wanted to do for a while. I've got fortunate enough to be close enough with some of the coaches there, so I'm hoping that's in the works, you know, pretty soon, but that'll be a dream.
How does that work? You get like an invite in the mail, or does a coach call you up and say, hey, we're having tryouts, or do they say, hey, you're on?
I'm not actually sure. I've had a couple workouts and stuff like that, but I'm sure it's just like you get an email or something, and they say, hey, we got these guys, the group of you, and then they slowly cut it down from there after a few practices.
Who's the greatest basketball player to ever come out of Australia?
We got a lot.
Luke Longley.
Yeah, he a little bit before my time though, so I didn't really get the experience there. Andrew Bogut.
Andrew Bogut was the #1 overall pick.
Yeah. Obviously, you got Ben Simmons, Patty Mills, more younger guys. But there's a lot. And there's so many people now in the NBA, it's ridiculous.
You're the next one.
Oh, I hope so.
There you go. Let's go to the next one right now. We're going to Salsa Verde. Like when you always go out for Mexican food and they put two salsas, you always have to ask them, hey, which one's the hot one, which one's not?
That's the first one the idea.
Yeah, the green one has usually got some bite to it.
This one's like sweet a little bit.
Tell me about the chemistry on this ball club, because I was at the Samford game and I was impressed by the what appeared to be the unity by the 100 people on the bench.
We got a squad.
I mean, it's something we pride ourselves on. You know, that staying togetherness, that connectivity we have. You know, that's something that runs deep in games. Like you don't really notice how big of an impact it is until it's not there. So that's something that coach, you know, prides us on and enforces, you know, every day that we got to keep that high, because that's what brings performance. If you don't like each other, you're not going to play good together. So that's what I see from it.
Yeah, I just think we have a group that everyone loves each other and everyone wants the best for each other. And when you have that, it's a recipe for success. And I just think it's a matter of time before people actually really see it. So I think we got a special group, and I think special things are going to continue to happen.
Now, coaching has to be in your blood because you're a coach's son.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you want to spill blood as a coach later, or is that your plan? Or
yeah, I'm definitely gonna be spilling blood in the future. For
there
sure.
you are. You're gonna go down that road.
Yep. Yes, I am. Yep.
All right. But now, what was your major in at NAU? Because he's already graduated. He's the smart one.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
So due to transferring a couple times, you know, nowadays it takes 5 years when you transfer a couple times. So I have 2 more classes, and then I'm done. I'll be getting a major in humanities and interdisciplinary studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
switched a couple times.
Let's study the heirloom habanero as we move to the second row. The second row is the angry row.
This one right here?
This one, yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, this one looks angry.
Right? It's got an angry look to it.
That's not too bad.
It's good. It's the best one.
Yeah, that's not too bad enough.
Who is you're in Melbourne? Do you follow the NBA? Do you have a favorite NBA team growing up?
Not growing up, more recently when I came here. Always Oklahoma. Always an Oklahoma fan. I used to see
Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
You know, they're originally from Seattle.
I did know that.
Okay, they were
But,
stolen, actually.
Yeah.
I remember being a young kid seeing that Westworld, going crazy and all animated and all that kind of stuff, and it just made me love that, and I kind of followed them along.
Is that your guy?
Yeah, I mean, it used to be. He's a little bit grown up now, so it's a little different. But back then, for sure.
Like who would you say you want your game to be modeled after? Like if I could be this guy, this is who I'd want to be.
I mean, I love to watch, Shea, Tatum, obviously LaMelo, that kind of like smooth game they have and that movement. That's just kind of like what I go for, and I see myself playing like. So
You got a little LaMelo hairdo going.
yeah, I've had that for a while.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
Liam, what about you? I mean, I think one guy I'm going to ask you about, but
Yeah, no, I mean, growing up, I've always been a fan of not growing up, I grew up around all the Gonzaga players.
right.
So I was always kind of a fan of wherever they were. And I mean, most recently, I've always been a fan of wherever Rui Hachimura's been. So I was a Wizards fan when they were really bad. And
Right.
now he's with the Lakers. So I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm not a bandwagon fan. So it's a big difference.
Right.
But I'm also a big Mavericks fan. I really like Luka Doncic. I think he's probably one of my favorite players. And he's a really good player.
Doesn't it bother you though that he is fouled he's
He's so good at it. He's so real.
I mean, it's like you're not fouled on every play. Yeah. What about John Stockton?
Yeah, John. I mean, John was my AAU coach actually, so I've grown to know John really well, and I mean,
Liam went to
Jazz.
G Prep. John
Yeah.
Stockton went to G Prep
Yep,
before going to GU.
I went to school with his son, Sammy, his youngest son, and I grew up with David and the other sons, and I mean, the Jazz were really good back in their day, and he's still good to this day actually.
Yeah.
Plays every Sunday.
He still got it.
Every Sunday, yep.
Yeah, John and I were the same high school, same age high school. He never scored on me because I never got off the bench. All right, let's get on to the salsa here. Arbel. This is where we started to lose Carter, by the way.
Yeah, bad palate.
The previous one was harder.
Yeah.
The previous one was hotter.
Oh, yeah,
this
for
one,
sure.
this one may have a little delayed kick
No,
for
it
you.
had a little delay kick. I feel it a little bit, but it's not
Yeah.
terrible. It's like
What's that like when the gym goes dark, the video starts, they're shooting flames out of those contraptions on the court, and then they announce your name?
Yeah, I was actually asked this the other day. In the moment, you don't really notice it. Obviously the start of the year, I was coming off the bench, and that's when I really noticed it. You're standing around, you're watching the atmosphere and stuff like that. When you're in the moment and they're reading your name and stuff, there's so many stuff going on, like high fives, handshake, you got to dap everyone up. I'm not even like thinking about all that stuff. I just completely zone out.
Do you have I see some of these handshakes that appear to be choreographed quite extensively. Do you have that thing going?
Not
with it?
yet. I had a lot at my old school, but not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
I saw
That's
CeeLo
in the
had
works.
something going last night.
CeeLo's got one with everyone. He's like the LeBron of our team.
All right.
So,
Now your preparation is going to be a little different because your minutes are going to be different.
Yeah.
When it goes to what do you see your role as?
I mean, my role is just to help these guys out every day in practice. I wouldn't say my role is necessarily to play at all, and I don't expect to play. But I would just think where I could bring the most success to these guys is just challenging them every day in practice and kind of challenging them to be the best versions of themselves on the court.
Sounds like a coach. Was that difficult for you to give up? Not give up. That's not the right word. But to come here for a fifth year, knowing that hey, I'm going to sacrifice some PT, but I'm moving my life in a different direction.
Yeah, I would say no. I just think just for my career and my experience, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to learn and really take a step back as a basketball player and just as a human being. I think every once in a while when you step back and put things in perspective, it can be special and you can really grow and learn from it.
What have you learned about yourself thus far?
I just think I can really help these guys with just my talk and just kind of encouraging them and telling them what I see and kind of helping them out with little stuff during practice and just challenging them to be better players.
Who does the best impression of your dad on the team?
yeah.
Deli has a decent impression, actually.
Really?
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, decent impression, yeah.
You want that PT, don't you?
I'm not doing it. Me and Coach are in a good spot right now. I gotta get that going.
Yeah, let's go from good spot to bad spot because bad spot is going to be this next dip. It's
All right,
called
let's try it.
Chingana, and it's
this
got a
one's
ghost pepper in it.
Oh, great.
Ghost pepper.
Yeah. Now, E-Man hit it 7 times. Who's the craziest guy on the team?
I mean, E-Man's probably the closest to psychotic. Everyone, I would say everyone's goofy in their own way. Like, not everyone's goofy every day, but then there's some days where the guys you least expect it just go crazy. And it's the most fun time in the locker room you can ever be around.
What's your message to the Arizona fan base?
Stick with us. You know, we're not giving up. We're not sitting around, you know, hanging our heads and worrying about what's happened in the past. We need them just as more as ever.
And what's it like inside McHale? Like for you, a new guy? You're coming from a smaller school, and now you're like...
It's like one of the greatest feelings I've ever experienced. Like showing up, no matter who the opponent is or when it is, Christmas break or first game of the year. Every game feels like the first game of the year. Sold out crowds. They're loud. They're engaged. They're standing up. You know, it's like what you dream of as a kid. It makes it so easy for us to play.
And what about you, Liam? Because you'd think people would be like, "Oh, he's been here and watched his dad," but you were playing, so you know what's it like inside?
I would just think it's special. It's just, I mean, when you're standing there before games, like you said, in warm-ups, and you're just looking around at all the people, and when you have like a wide-out game or everyone's kind of color coordinated and everyone's fired up, standing up, I just think it's special. It's one of those undescribable feelings that you can just like wow, like just a wow moment. That's what
Definitely.
it is.
Are you having a wow moment with the ghost pepper?
No, I'm actually in a good spot right now.
You are?
I don't think I'm gonna go back like E-Man.
You're not going to hit
I
it
might go
again?
down a notch. You go back to the orange.
Liam hit it twice.
Yeah, twice is solid.
You're
It's not terrible. It's doable.
All right. Well, you're a lot tougher than some of the other guys. Because Carter he may skip practice today. All right, we're done here. That's another episode of Wildcats versus Mildcats. Deli and Liam bringing the heat. We'll see you next time.